warm welcome to a pod for the Saints on Wednesday, the 20th of August, 2025, with myself, David Tavener, and the man at the controls there, Jake Ellacott.
Oh, hello, Dave. It's great to see you back in your homeland. Well, not really your homeland, but great to see you back anyway.
Yeah, caged in again. And a free spirit, Leewood.
Free spirits. Oh,
Oh.
free flowing spirits. Juicy. Right. Okay. Yes. Good afternoon, boys. How are we all doing?
Probably too many spirits, Lee. Come on. I think we're doing fine because Saints are on this long winning run now. It stretches for 90 minutes. As we look back on last Saturday's game at Clarence Park, our 2,609th Isthmian League game, or third of the season, which is more relevant, and our first win. Now, two things to look at here. A good win against Dartford. Their previous away game, they went down 4-0 with 10 men. This time they went down 2-0 with 10 men. A good win, a god-awful game. The manager said he's not happy with it. He said he's not been happy with all three performances so far. I tell you what, Ian, pay 18 quid and you'll find stronger words than not happy to sum up with what we're watching. So he's not happy. He's in a position to change things. We're not. Yeah, where do you want to start? A good win, but the game was not the best in the world. The guy who did a report for the NLP somehow gave it 2 stars. Up presumably one for each goal, Jake.
Correct. Well done, Dave. I actually finally worked out my methodology. The day we score 5 will be, oh, what a report that'll be. Yeah, I think that sort of sums it up, doesn't it? It was good win. It's good to get it on the board. But you have to say, up until the red card, it wasn't particularly looking likely. That may seem harsh, but we weren't exactly causing Dartford a load of trouble. It was fairly even. And actually, they probably had the better of the few sights of goal that were up until that red card. And then after that, it wasn't a great performance or great display, was it? But I suppose you could say it was professional. We got the job done. We got the win, and we saw it out. But that red card certainly changed everything, didn't it? So I'm just glad we got away with a win because it looked like it was going to be a tricky fixture, and I think to get a victory on the board going into the bank holiday weekend was quite important.
A professional performance, professional win. We got away with it, is what you mean, obviously. And your take on it, Lee?
Yeah, pretty much similar along those lines, Taz. I think we would have got over the line eventually. I think it would have been hard fought and maybe a dogged performance if it was 11 against 11. But I think the penalty and the red card just sort of helped it on its way. One thing I would say is I really disappointed in Dartford, actually, considering the fact that, they've got some good players there, some high caliber players, and they are always pushing for promotion. But I just thought, again, I don't know whether it's me or whether the fact that Chatham sort of really rattled me on the first game of the season, but these tactics of going down, trying to con the referee, slowing down time, dictating the pace of the game, is this the way it's going to be unfolding in front of our eyes? Dartford are a big side, and yeah, they're going to be there or thereabouts, surely. But I thought we were good value for it. I wouldn't say it was a particularly great performance. It wasn't a particularly great game. But I think we were the team more likely to look as though we were going to win.
I can't agree with you, Lee. This is the first time in history, isn't it? Or first time since last week.
Yeah.
I'll go along with Jake. I thought early on, well, most of the first half, Dartford were the better side. Their problem is they were so weak up front. Their finishing was tepid. That said, Magnus Norman did make a couple of good saves.
Yeah.
And he's looking to be a decent signing from what we've seen in his first 3 league games. The doubters at the start of the summer so far been proved wrong. He is looking solid, dependable, and a good rock for us at the back there. But Dartford, I thought they contributed to their own downfall. They were just so weak up front and scored 1 goal in their first 3 games. And AD Pennock's going to have to strengthen things somewhere if they're to get up where they're expected to be, which is challenging. He actually thought in the build-up to the first goal, which saw Michael, I'll have a go at this, Olarewaju, that's near enough, isn't it? Got sent off for the handball and he deliberately handled it after good work by Jasper Mather, picking up a long pass from Alex Dyer. The referee had to send him off. I didn't like Mather's attitude, banging on to the referee saying he's got to send him off. No, it's the referee's job, let him do it. But AD Pennock thought Mather was offside. The video doesn't show it. The highlights don't show it. But I filmed the whole incident from where I was standing early on, and the goal shouldn't have stood because it started with a foul throw by Lewis Page quite a bit earlier. But that said, good ball by Dyer, good run by Mather. Comes on to his right foot, handball penalty. Second penalty put away this week by Zane Banton, so it's 4 in 6 for him. He's got much better record in the penalty shootouts. Then the second goal. Did we get lucky again? Good build-up, Mather to James Sweet. Sweet's stretch to get the ball. Deflection back into Mather. 2 shots blocked. Third one took a slight deflection into the goal. Could be said things went our way.
You can, but again, going back to your point, you claim that Dartford were the better side, but they're toothless up front. That's not a lot of good. That doesn't make them the better side. If they have quite a lot of the ball, that's fine. But how many times last year did we have quite a lot of the ball, but we're absolutely terrible? I think we were the better of the 2 attacking sides. I think if anyone was going to score, I think, okay, take away that fantastic save from Norman at the other end. I thought we were looking to press. I thought we attacked in the right areas. And on your point in terms of Mather sort of goading the referee, if you're going to wait for the match officials in this division to make a genuine choice, we could be in for a long old season, Dave. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the second goal, scrappy, but I think the build-up play to it was excellent. And I think with the man advantage, especially with the speed and the agility we've got on our side, that is when we can sort of really turn that screw and come to fruition and cause good teams like Dartford problems. I think what I would have liked to have seen in the second half is really put them to the sword a little bit more. A lot easier said than done, of course. Playing against 10 men is never easy. Cliche. However, you could see that we were stretching them and we had that pace. And that's the sort of players that now Ian and Baz have brought into the side to really stretch teams. But again, the win is the win. We almost didn't get that second goal, but it went in eventually, right?
Toothless, I would say they did have chances. They didn't take them. That's why they're toothless. Whereas when we had the ball last season, we created diddly squat for the first half of the season, that's for sure. But yeah, we take the win. You got anything to add to it, Jake?
No, yeah, I agree with Lee. It would have been nice during that second half to see us really put our foot on the gas. I think once we got that second, we seemed comfortable. I mean, Mather had another one, didn't you, that he slashed wide on the half volley that maybe, probably should have done better after a save from the keeper. But yeah, it'd be nice to get a few more goals, but we got the win, didn't we? And that's the important thing on the board. I have to say, Mather's impressed me in his few appearances so far this season. I think he looks decent up front. And yeah, quite an interesting. I mean, a couple of players that not in the squad or not in the starting 11, Dave, that dropped out after Tuesday's poor second half at Brentwood. Is it fair to say? So, Ian already ringing the changes, as you said. Would it be a shock to see him make some changes to the squad early on? If he's not happy with the performances and they carry on for the next couple, we might do.
Yeah, that one, Jasper's flashed wide. That was with his left foot. I don't think he even trusts his left foot for standing on, let alone shooting. So no surprise that one went wide. Fortunately, his right foot is a bit more reliable. You mentioned the changes there. Riley Scott and Leo Serry were both dropped. You were both at Brentwood. Any surprises, them going out? Jack James and Aziz Cohen coming in?
I was quite surprised. I didn't think they, particularly out of the players that played at Brentwood, I didn't think they were necessarily the ones that performed the worst. But obviously, it worked to an extent, didn't it? And it was interesting to see Kone come in for the start. I think he's looked like he's got quite good legs on him in midfield, and I just wondered if Ian wanted someone in the middle there to try and cover a bit more ground potentially.
He had a good game, I thought. Actually, to be fair, in the middle, I thought he broke up. I thought he broke up, played well. I thought there was a couple of instances, especially in the first half, where it was just getting on top of us a little tiny bit, and he seemed to have that extra sort of touch, a little bit of composure for someone so young as well in the middle of the park. Dave, your point again, mate, about these players we're looking to these players now to hit the ground running. And I think, although we can allow to give them a little bit of time, the result to come in, I think the games are coming thick and fast. We've got another couple of games over the next sort of week now. And I think you'll look to Ian to sort of change it up shape-wise as well. And I think that's where Seri maybe he got a bit tired after the Brentwood game. Give him a little bit of like a rest, and then he can come on and impact the game late on from the bench against Dartford, especially when they're tired, because they're big units, aren't they, at the back? And we spoke about this at Brentwood, where tall defenders, strong as though they are, they don't like people running at them with pace, especially late on, early doors when they're trying to chase the game as well. So that's another element to that. I think what Jake is trying to skip around is the fact that Alex Wall was dropped, or maybe he's carrying an injury. I don't know. It's difficult because I think we're going to need him to be there or thereabouts, because I can't think we can rely on what was offered up on Saturday. So Harrison to get fit, Wall to get back to somewhere near the sort of form he showed in pre-season, and I think we're going to be halfway there, boys.
Harrison Smith apparently was very optimistic of being involved on Saturday. As it was, yet again, he wasn't even included in the squad. And it's a big if with Harrison, because his record with injuries is shocking, poor lad. If he's fit, he's going to get goals for us at this level. I've got no doubt of that whatsoever. We just got to get him in there. Alex Wall, of course, we don't know what's happened to him. He's just not in the squad, and we're not given information. As is Coney, a couple of people around me compared him to Kyron Wiltshire, except that he didn't get booked. And the other player who came in, Jack James, he did not have a good pre-season, but I thought he had a decent game Saturday.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly an easy game for him to come into, but he did all right. And I think we've seen, haven't we, that actually maybe he'll be featuring more as a centre half potentially this season than as a natural right back. So be interesting to see how that develops. Yeah, I think Lee's right. Well, both of you actually, for once, about the firepower and those players that we need. We do need options, don't we? If Alex Wall's not firing at the minute, Harrison Smith is, wherever he is. And like you say, Dave, I think if he gets in the team, he's scoring a decent amount of goals at this level. So if they're not around, we can't just rely on Jasper and also Leo Seri, who hasn't yet scored. So, do we need more depth there potentially, depending on the situations with those two in the next couple of weeks? I think most fans would think, yeah, we do. But I guess we'll wait and see what happens there.
Well, Zane's 2 penalties in these 2 games. The keeper's gone the wrong way. I'm amazed the one on Saturday went the wrong way, because he would have seen the video of the game at Brentwood, or as a website put it on one of its reports, Brentford was near enough. If they'd gone the other way, he could have just bent down and picked it up both times, couldn't they? But they've gone the wrong way. I don't know. Is he going to keep getting away with it?
He did him with the eyes, mate. I don't know whether so we were right behind it, and he just. I mean, to be fair, it works, doesn't it? I mean, look, if it comes off, it comes off, and if it doesn't, then you look like a muck. But ultimately, they all go in, so fine.
Yes, we take it. It's funny. Was it last year? 36 games before we got a penalty. Then we missed 2 in 2. Now we got 2 in the first 3 games, which is a best or most profitable start from a penalty spot for 4 seasons, when we had 4 in the first 5 games.
There you go, Dave. Before you move on, Dave, I just want to give a mention to our Norwegian fans, PC, King and Rolf, who made the trip down for that game, that quality of game. So, yeah, lovely to see them there, and I'm sure they'll be rushing back for more quality Isthmian League games later in the season.
Well, attendance 928, probably not too bad for the Isthmian League Premier Division. 600 down on when Dartford were last at Clarence Park. Combination of where both clubs are now, one would imagine, and also the admission fee, which had a few chants of £18 you're having a laugh, which one suspects is going to go on all season.
Did you start that, Dave, by any chance?
I can't afford 18 quid, Lee. I wouldn't be there. Right, is that Dartford put to bed? Yes. Well and truly.
Off for the first time.
Right, as somebody mentioned at the start, we've got 2 games to look forward to this weekend. Saturday, a new one for us, Folkestone Invicta. Never played them before, and we're still not going to play them. Was it Cheriton Road, where they are now, because having a new pitch put in, still not ready. Going to be ready in October, apparently. So we're up to Margate, Hartsdown Park. 3 previous visits there, 3 previous City wins. 1 defeat in our last 9 games in Kent. 3 points in the bag.
Yeah, yeah. I share your optimism, Dave, obviously. Yeah, it's going to be exciting, isn't it? I think the one thing that we were fallen foul of the last 2 years is just consistency. And I think that building upon Saturday's win now is an absolute must. But I think, again, we've got a good squad. It's just a matter of just getting that unity a little bit quicker on the pitch. It's an unknown quantity for a lot of the games this season, Tabs. Folks, though, look, they've got some good players. Dean Rance, former player of the year at Dagenham and Redbridge, he was banging them in at the conference last season, the start of the National League. Sorry, Jake Hutchinson as well. I think he's there. So again, players that can hurt us, but nothing. I wouldn't say they are a standout team in this league. Not like the way that Billericay are, for example, in terms of the cash they're splashing. But good players, and we've got to be wary. We've got to be on it. It's really interesting now to see what side Ian and Baz pick.
They are one of the fanciest sides by quite a few people. What have you got on them, Jake?
Yeah, I think the same as Lee. I think they're running. They are fancied by some, but I think they are low on a lot of people's radars as well, because so many people have looked at Billericay, Dartford, Dulwich ourselves. Whereas Folkestone have actually quietly gone about their business and invested quite a bit into that squad. Along with those names, there's Jack Jebb as well, who we've faced a few times. So it's going to be an interesting challenge actually on Saturday. And looking at the fixtures and looking at the game we've got on Monday, it's quite a challenging bank holiday weekend, isn't it? And I think we've talked about how we'll learn a lot from these opening fixtures. I think we could learn a lot from just these two games in the sense of the team that Ian goes with on Saturday, how it performs, and then going into Monday, any changes. Because obviously he's gone with maybe the more experienced players. Is it fair to describe them as in the first couple of games starting? Can they manage 2 games in 3 days? And how's that going to work? So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised by a similar starting 11 to the Dartford game, but I wonder if we might see Seri come back in to try and add a bit of pace to the attacking areas potentially.
Yeah, that's reasonable. A couple of other players. They got Ted Collins in goal. He played in goal for Chelmsford when we lost about close to midnight, wasn't it, towards the end of last season? And they've also got Adi Youssef, who played 3 games for us in 2015-16. Including his debut in the 92nd minute, mind you, was in the 1-0 win at Margate. So he's on familiar territory there, isn't he? I don't know. I think this is going to be a really tough one. They're unbeaten so far this season, only 3 games in, so it doesn't mean an awful lot. Got 1 point more than us. I don't know. All 4 there. This will be their 4th game of the season, all away from home, as we say, while work's going on at their own ground. So it's tough for them. And but they look pretty good on the travels, unbeaten there. Have we got enough to do it? I think it's going to be a really tough one. I'm actually going to go for a 2-1 defeat.
Oh my God!
I know, shocking. You too?
Oh. I'll go for a 1-1, but I think we do have enough. I think we've got it. I think if we've got the legs in midfield and can take control of the game, I think if we let them step on us fairly early on, I think it'd be a struggle. And I think there's a risk of that against Dartford up until the red card, that we just weren't quite grappling the game. But I think if we can on Saturday start well, it'd be lovely to see an early goal, and then just settle ourselves in. I'm fancying another goal from Mather. I'll go 1-1, but I am quietly confident that we might be able to pick up a win as well.
How confident are you, Lee?
Yeah, I am confident. I'm confident of us creating problems, and I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I think a score draw is on the cards, absolutely. Look, it's really difficult, isn't it? We've just started the season. We don't really know all these fancy teams that everyone's talking about. We don't really know how that's all going to play out. I mean, Dartford are a fancy team, and even with 11 men, yes, they played it around quite quickly, but I didn't say they were anything particularly special. That said, Folkestone, a couple of good players, but again, I think we've got enough of our own star sort of players to really cause them problems. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw, mate.
Looking at the two games, Folkestone Saturday and Cheshunt on Monday, I think one of you two alluded to it already. There are going to be changes because you've got three players there age between 35 and 37. He's not going to play all of them, all three of them from the start in both games. Will he mix and match them, or will he go for the three on Saturday, then possibly drop even a couple of them for Monday? It's a tough call for Ian because he's put his faith very much in this squad, in experience to hold the younger players together. So it'll be the first time he's probably had to fiddle with those three and move them around.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the introduction of Kieran Gauthier on Saturday. I think he looked, once he gets himself established as well, he'll be a really key player for us. You keep harping about the age, but you'd expect whatever they are, mid-30s players to play 2 games in 3 days. These aren't like 40, 50-year-old men. You'd expect them sort of to rotate a little tiny bit. But that is why they've assembled the squad which they have. I think you're probably going to see the big hitters in terms of the Folkestone game, and then maybe look to sort of chop and change it a little bit in terms for the Cheshunt game. But again, it's these players, they should be expected to play 2 games in a week, or 2 games in quick succession, should we say? I think, and as Jake said, we've got enough. We have got enough. It's just the consistency and don't underestimate teams as well, because there's no point going to get a result away to Folkestone if we're then going to screw it up against home to Cheshunt. So again, consistency. The squad comes into play. I think Alex will, if he's fit, if he's not injured, I think he's going to have something to sort of say about the game as well on Saturday, hopefully.
Well, the 3 sides, ourselves, Folkestone and Cheshunt are the side that made the best start of the season. 2 wins and joint top goal scorers in the league with 8. They've got a couple of faces that are familiar to us. Raul de Silva, as you'll remember, the great big centre-half. Unfortunately, didn't work out for him at Clarence Park. And they got Arthur Ironton. Right, he never played for us, but you may remember, final game before COVID, a 1-0 win at Braintree Town. And after Joey Schifano missed an absolute sitter, the ball bounced off Ironton and went in for the only goal. So if he could do that again Monday, I think we'll all be happy. It's going to be tough. They've got a decent record at the park in recent years when they've come down, which is not many times. And they've made this good start. I think we're in for 2 tough games.
Yeah, very, very tough. I think Cheshunt, as I said, started well. Obviously, they lost against Chatham, didn't they? Sort of a bit of a whimper going down 1-0 against them, so maybe a little bit found out. They've got a good team. They've got a good manager, Mel Gwinnett, who was at Hampton a couple of years ago now, and led them for quite a successful campaign. And if you look through their squad, if Saints fans have a look, there'll be a few names that maybe not particularly well known, but some you'll recognise, and quite a few of them again have come through Hamptons, like George Nuns, Kieran Summer-Phillips, Daniel Furlongs, etc. So Hampton, Hemel, those sort of clubs, so they've all got experience at a high level. It's going to be challenging. And Dave, I know you said they've got a great record, a good record at Clarence Park, but I'm glad this one's at home on Monday. I think it'd be nice to get back to Clarence Park on the bank holiday Monday and just see how he face up against them. But, we've alluded to it throughout this episode, haven't we? If we want to be up there, if we want to fancy ourselves, if Ian thinks we're a team that is capable of challenging for something this season, even if it's just the playoffs, these are the kind of games, Cheshunt at home, it's going to be difficult, but you've really got to pinpoint it for a win, haven't you? Because otherwise you're not going to achieve anything this season. So again, Ian's messaging about he's not particularly happy with the performances. It'd be interesting to see what he does for the squad for both these games. I mean, you're looking for 6 points, really, but in reality, would you take 3, 4? I think 4 points would be a good return.
Well, for about a year and a half, we could hardly buy a win at Clarence Park. But under Ian, I haven't actually got the record up in front of me. He's got a good record. Almost got us out of trouble last year. Just fell at the final hurdle. This year, 2 games gone, not conceded a goal at the park. Barely let a goal in pre-season until we went to Bedford. If we can build a fortress at Clarence Park, which we've not had for a long, long time, that could carry us a long way in this division.
So you're saying we'll be champions by Christmas, Dave? Is that what you're saying, mate?
A
That's
bit
what I'm
earlier,
hearing,
Lee,
mate.
but a bit earlier.
Listen, that's what I'm hearing, fella. So
It's a good point. I mean, when was the last time we had a decent run of results at Clarence Park? It's been a number of seasons, hasn't it? And also a supporter messaged us last week and said, when do you remember us becoming a team that didn't just play 45 minutes a game? It feels like it's been like that for going on for 2-3 years. Both of those things, I think if we can address both those, you've suddenly got the basis of a team that can actually, maybe go about and finish a top 5, top 6 finish. But yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it, to get those wins at Clarence Park, because also, let's be honest, with the ticketing situation, wins are needed to get the casual fans and the loyal fans back to games. If you can build some decent wins at home, the fans, more fans are inclined to come, I think.
I'll go along with you, Jake. I know you don't like it, Lee, but if we don't perform well at home and we're not winning, the supporters are there, soon going to vent their feelings. We shall see anyway. Hopefully it won't come to that. Right, let's have some predictions. You go first this time, Lee.
I'm going to go 1-0 City.
Jake.
That was going to be mine. So I'll go 2-1 Saints.
What was that, mate?
2-1 Saints, the old classic.
Beautiful stuff.
We can't have 3 straight. Well, we can't have 3 straight wins. That's too predictable, isn't it? I think we will win.
That's what they call predictions, Dave.
I'm going to go 1 or draw. Talking of predictions, somebody has kindly mentioned. Do you remember after talking about Wilson pre-season? I said, well, they're coming down. Here they are, 3 games in the National League and 3 wins. So they're taking a slow ride towards relegation. Right. Anything to add?
Well, just kind of wishing you'd predicted us to go down, but Dave, because we would have been top of the league by now if you had.
Privately, he has.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Dave, are you planning to attend these 2 games or any more holidays? Or
I don't know. I'll see what's about. If there's any decent trips anywhere. I fancy actually a weekend in Kent. Might go down there.
Who doesn't fancy that?
Stop the boats. Well, was one thing I was so someone come up to me at the game on Saturday, Taz, and it sounded very much as I was talking to you, because they were very disheartened about the quality of the performance, even though the season's very much in its infancy. And I know that you're very much about performance over result, and I'm the other way. But at what point, even though, because the lower down you go, the high quality performances, they're not exactly forthcoming. So are we now getting to the stage where at this stage in this division, the results are key over performance, or are you still staunch on the fact that the performances need to come and the results will come because of that, or not?
No, I'm a football supporter, Lee, so I'll go see football. I'm not that bothered if we win. I prefer it if we win, but I want to see, number one, a decent game of football.
Yeah.
Of course the quality is going to get lower the further you go down. We hope it's going to get lower. It can't get much worse than it is in the Championship, from what I've been told. But yeah, I want to see decent football. I want to see us do it. I want to see the other teams do it. And if we win, great. It's a bonus. A decent game of football is what I want, along with a well-run club. How many out of 2 have we got at the moment?
Greedy.
Before we go, Dave, do you want to mention the FA Cup tie? Apparently that was drawn, wasn't it?
No, let you do it, Joe. You spotted it.
No, it's Aylesbury Vale Dynamos away, isn't it? Have we ever played them? I mean, this is where we're at now. Aylesbury's the first game of the season.
You made your bed, fellas.
Well, we'll talk about it next week, obviously. But it's one of those games. I mean, a club superbly underrated Galston last season. It'd be interesting to see if they underrate Aylesbury Vale Dynamos this season. Surely not 2 years running. But they're in the Spartan South Midlands, aren't they?
Yeah. I don't think that's going to be a problem under Ian House and Paul Bastock, I hope.
I just don't think we're going to have as good a day in Aylesbury as we did at Galston. Tabs. It was biblical stuff, mate. It really was. It was a great day. Sadly, it was just overshadowed by one of the worst performances that I've ever seen from this club. So fingers crossed. But we will touch on that in a later episode. If you do want to get in touch, and a lot of you have been doing so, young Jacob's going to give you all the information you need right now.
Exactly. Well, before he does that,
right.
Going back to that Galton game, because it played at Great Yarmouth, wasn't it? You got that magnificent old stand, which they claim to be is the oldest continually used stand in football or something like that. That's fantastic. Running track around the pitch, it didn't help. Actually, it did help. They put the game further away. You couldn't see much of it. All right, Jay, you can do your bit now.
I'm not entirely sure that was worth interrupting me for, Jay. Go ahead, buddy.
Well, if you want to let us know if there's any more similarities between Aylesbury and Great Yarmouth, it's a Podful of Saints on Twitter, email description below. Get in contact. Dave hasn't got much going on. And thank you all for watching us and listening. We really appreciate it. And we'll speak to you all again next week. So thank you very much and come on, you Saints. Bye-bye.
Thank you.